Good evening. We begin with continuing coverage of the breaking news we first told you about on 23 ABC News at 5. Roads in the downtown area still closed as Bakersfield police investigate an officer-involved shooting. Officials say Truxtun Avenue is closed between A and F streets in both directions. Drivers, of course, encouraged to avoid the area. Let's take you live to the scene right now where there still is a large police presence tonight. You can see there's still crime scene tape up as we're zooming in closer toward where this all happened. Now, officials say that this happened this afternoon around 3:30, and it did involve a police officer firing at a suspect. Two of them. This is in the 2000 block of Truxtun Avenue near E Street. Now, Bakersfield police say they responded to a call for a man that had stolen a piece of equipment at a construction site near the shooting scene around 3:15. The equipment was identified as a skip loader. Now, the suspect was reportedly seen driving the skip loader for several minutes before getting out of it and into an older model red Nissan pickup truck. Officers confronted the subject when they arrived, and they say that's when an officer-involved shooting occurred. Two officers did fire their weapon. Both were wearing body-worn cameras. The person was hit at least one time with a gunshot. Now, he is currently at the hospital and listed in critical condition. Officials say it's unknown if the suspect fired a weapon or even had a weapon. One officer did have minor injuries and was treated by Hall Ambulance. However, it's unclear how he had those injuries. We were able to speak to a witness who heard the shots fired, and he says this incident did include a red pickup truck parked near the scene.
I'm pretty sure he was driving a Nissan pickup that they have parked over there still, so I would assume he's not homeless if he's driving a car.
Oh, okay. You said they have him down on the ground. Could you explain what that looked like?
They had him down on the ground, and they had paramedics trying to basically treat his wounds. Like I said, heard quite a few gunshots, so I would imagine he got.
Now, of course, as we mentioned, Truxtun Avenue remains closed at this time. Officials did not give any estimate as to when it will reopen. We'll, of course, continue to follow any developments on this shooting investigation, including any updates on when those roads reopen. Tonight on 23 ABC News at 7, we'll also provide you with an update. And, of course, you can stay up to date on our website, turnto23.com, our social media platforms, or our free mobile and tablet app.
New to our studios tonight, 3 News has learned that Corpus Christi police officers, 3 of them involved in a fatal shooting earlier this month, have returned to work today after being on paid administrative leave. Officer Jesus Torrebantes, Officer Jacqueline De Leon, and Officer Adrian Guerra were responding to a domestic violence call on November 14th when a 66-year-old man shot at police, prompting Officer Torrebantes to return fire. Investigators say the man went back inside the house where he was later found dead from a gunshot wound to the chest. All 3 officers are back at work. CCPD says all 3 officers were wearing body cameras at the time of the shooting. That footage is being reviewed as part of the investigation.
All right, tracking the breaking news this morning on Providence, we've been telling you about reports of a shooting in the capital city.
All right, so the incident happening a short time ago on Roger Williams Green. That's right near the University Marketplace on North Main Street. I want to check in once again with 12 News reporter Erica Ritchie. She's been live on the scene for more than an hour. What's the update, Erica?
Well, guys, good morning. It's been nearly 2 hours since this incident occurred here at the Roger Williams Green in Providence, just off of North Main Street. And still members of the Providence Police Department are arriving to help with the investigation. Let me step out of the way so you can see what's going on behind me here. Just beyond the yellow tape, you can see members of the police department with their flashlights. They're looking around just off to the right of the screen. You can see some evidence markers laid down suggesting that there may be shell casings over there. And officers were called here to reports of a shooting, though we have not yet confirmed that at this time through the police department. I can also tell you that we do see here what appears to be a body on the ground covered by a white tarp, although at this point, once again, we have not confirmed that nor any details around what may have happened here. We're told that members of the command staff are on their way here, and when they arrive, we'll be sure to ask those questions, and we'll get to the answers as soon as we learn them. So stay with us here on 12 News. That's the latest live in Providence. Erica Ritchie, 12 News.
Pennsylvania State Police overnight issuing information on an arrest warrant for the shooting suspect. Chris Hoffman joins us live. And Chris, who are they looking for?
Good morning, Heather. State police are looking for 37-year-old Chad Goldstrom of New Kensington. He's accused of shooting at 2 people. Now, take a look at your screen here. Here's a photo of Goldstrom. According to state police, around 3 Sunday afternoon in the 100 block of Market Street in Leechburg, Armstrong County, Goldstrom fired multiple shots at 2 men and hit both of them. Those victims, both 38 years old, were taken to a Pittsburgh hospital to be treated. One is in stable condition. The other is in critical condition. The Armstrong County District Attorney issued a warrant for Goldstrom's arrest. He is facing multiple charges, including criminal attempted homicide, aggravated assault, simple assault, and recklessly endangering another person. At this point, Goldstrom is still on the run. State police are asking if you know anything about where he is, give a call over to the Pennsylvania State Police Katanning Barracks. Chris Hoffman, KDKA News.
Also developing tonight, police need your help tracking down this vehicle. Take a look at it as it drives into your screen. Detectives describing it as a vehicle of interest in a deadly shooting. You might recall this from our news at 10 o'clock on Friday night, happening around 7:15 Friday night in the 7900 block of Grizzly Drive. Investigators say 2 men were injured in that shooting. A 17-year-old later died from his injuries. There's no word at last check on identities or motive. And if you recognize a vehicle, take a good look, please. You're urged to call Crime Stoppers, the number you see right there on the top of your screen.
following breaking news from the River Oaks area tonight. A man was shot multiple times in the parking garage at the River Oaks District Shopping Center. A call came in this afternoon around 4:20. Police are calling it a robbery. They say the suspect got away with some jewelry. We are told the victim was shot in his lower body. Officers did apply a tourniquet to him, and they're checking surveillance cameras meanwhile to get more information.
Top story here tonight at 5. Breaking news happening late this afternoon. Kentucky State Police released the body camera video from that deadly police shooting that happened in the Portland neighborhood. Now, this is the very first police incident since Mayor Greg Fisher turned over investigations involving our local police shootings to KSP. Heather Fontaine is live with the story. She's been looking at the video and has more on what it revealed here just this afternoon. Heather?
Well, what we're about to show you may be hard to watch. You're going to see a vehicle back into an LMPD officer. That impact is going to cause the body camera to fall, and then you'll hear the gunshots. Take a look.
Stop! 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 Stay in the car! Do not get out of the car!
According to Kentucky State Police, who are leading this investigation, the LMPD officer saw this vehicle traveling with no taillights and then learned the car was stolen. The driver eventually pulled into a parking area on Gilligan. The video shows the officer, who LMPD has told us is Officer Harry Cedars, get out of his car with his gun pointing towards the vehicle. We hear Officer Cedars telling those inside to remain in the car.
While awaiting backup and additional information from LMPD dispatch, a female exits the vehicle from the front passenger side. As the officer addresses the passenger, the operator of the vehicle, 49-year-old Brian Thurman, backs the vehicle toward the officer and makes contact.
The car! Do not get out of the car!
Brian Thurman was taken to the hospital where he died. This is the first time KSP has acted as the lead investigator in an LMPD critical incident since a police reform agreement was announced this year. Normally, LMPD would have released this video within 24 hours of the officer-involved shooting. KSP has waited a week, completing all important interviews before making this body camera footage public. Now, according to LMPD, Officer Cedars has been with the department since February of 2018. They also tell us he was injured during this incident and is recovering. Officer Cedars is also on leave pending the investigation, which is standard procedure. Reporting live outside of LMPD headquarters, I'm Heather Fontaine.
Shooting caps a weekend of violence in our area. First, a chase ended when police shot a man in Pittsburgh. Elsewhere, there was a double shooting in Armstrong County. We begin with that police chase. It began in Homestead, ended in Pittsburgh. Here's Chris Hoffman.
According to Pittsburgh police, this is where the police chase ended, the 3300 block of East Carson Street. And then that's when Pittsburgh police say the Homestead officer shot the alleged suspect. Investigators say it started shortly after 11 Saturday night. A Homestead officer saw a vehicle driving erratically and started a chase. The chase would leave Homestead and cross into Pittsburgh. According to officers, it ended with the alleged suspect's vehicle, the police vehicle, and a third vehicle, all being involved in a crash. Pittsburgh police say it was followed by the Homestead officer shooting the suspect in the upper torso. City EMS crews took the male to a hospital in stable condition. No other injuries were reported. The investigation is being handled by Pittsburgh police. Their violent crime unit will interview the Homestead officer and everyone else involved. In a statement, the Allegheny County District Attorney's Office says, quote, "City police have relayed to us the information they have at this point, and we will continue to work with them as their investigation proceeds." East Carson Street was closed from Becks Run Road to Sarah Street during the investigation. On the south side, Chris Hoffman, KDKA News.
Tonight's big story: a month after someone shot a precious one-year-old baby boy to death, police have finally made an arrest. The deadly shooting happening at an outdoor food event in Mesa, leaving Sebastian Duran dead and 7 more hurt, including 4 kids. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kariba Devine.
And I'm Mitch Carr, in tonight for Mark Curtis. Team 12's Michael Dowdna joins us now with the details you first saw here on 12 News.
I'm never going to be okay, even if they arrest the person responsible.
Gerardo and Gisela Duran in tears, looking for the first time at the man Mesa police say shot and killed their 1-year-old son.
We didn't know this person before. We'd never seen this person in our life.
The October 16th shooting rampage is still under investigation, but police say a fight broke out that night. Then 2 hours later, investigators say Larry Tyrone Miller and a silver Kia Soul opened fire into a crowd, wounding 7 and killing Sebastian.
For one fight, it ended up costing the life of my son.
5 days later, police would find that car in South Phoenix. The next day, they arrest Miller on a narcotics charge. Now he's under arrest again, as Mesa PD says Miller is facing at least 24 charges, including for first-degree murder and attempted murder.
Justice now for everything that is happening, and I believe it is not going to be enough.
For the Durans, it just doesn't make sense how a man they did not know could, in just a moment, steal the life of a boy that meant so much.
There's nothing that is going to leave my conscience, my soul, and my heart alone.
Guys, although police have made one arrest, this investigation is far from over, and we expect more details to be released in the coming days and weeks. We're in Mesa. Michael Doudna, 12 News.
In case you missed it, a Liberty County baby has died nearly 2 weeks after a tragic accident. The 4-month-old was in a swing in the front yard when witnesses said the mother accidentally drove forward, hitting her daughter and pinning her in that swing set. The child sustained severe head injuries. 2 men considered persons of interest have now been charged with murder in the killing of Jacoby Jackson in a shooting last week on Glasshouse Street. Police say Deshaun Manuel turned himself in and was taken to the Jefferson County Jail last Thursday. But Joseph Matthews, well, he's still at large. So if you have any information, please call Crime Stoppers at 833-TIPS. Beaumont police are asking for your help as they investigate a weekend shooting of a 16-year-old. Now, this happened Saturday just before midnight at an apartment complex on Sack Street. Investigators are asking for neighbors in the area to check their security cameras and please come forward with any information. Houston police have identified a woman that was found dead along the side of the road over the weekend. She's social media influencer Alexis Sharkey. The 26-year-old was found nude in the city's West End. Now, officials say she didn't have any visible signs of injury, but they are investigating this death as a homicide.
And let's get back to the breaking news in Kenner. Police there are looking for 2 suspects, 2 robbers who turned out to be murderers. They're on the run this morning after killing a gas station clerk in cold blood during a robbery. Asha Staples is on the scene and has more. And this is a very disturbing story.
It is, Eric, and police are calling this a brutal and senseless murder. Right now, the scene is clear, but we're off of Williams Boulevard in Kenner, where police responded to this area around 2 o'clock this morning. They say 2 men entered the gas station, one with a white knit cap and black face mask. He approached the store clerk and was standing behind the counter, produced a handgun, and demanded money. They first entered the store appearing to going to buy something, but that's when that man went behind the counter demanding money from the clerk. And suspect number 2 stands by the door of the business while this is all going down. The clerk did comply as he was being demanded the money. But according to this press release from Kenner PD, without any type of provocation, suspect 1, the guy in the white cap, steps back and shoots the victim, and the victim was transported to an area hospital where he succumbed to his injury. So right now, again, police calling this a brutal and senseless murder, and they're in the early stages of this investigation. So they're asking for the public's help in identifying the 2 suspects you see there on your screen. Luckily, they were captured on surveillance video. I've been looking around the outside of the store to see if there's some surveillance video that may have been captured also to see if they were in some type of vehicle or not, but I do not see that at this time. But again, they're asking for any information, and you're asked to call the Kenner Police Department or Crime Stoppers right away with any information that you may have. So we'll send it back to you guys until we learn further details.
All right, Asha, thank you very much.